Hey everyone. First of everything, thank you so much, Bud and Steve, for having me here. And thank you everyone for joining in. I hope you all are safe and healthy in this epidemic. This is a complete lockdown in here. So thank you for joining. So before I head over to the presentation, I just want to tell you briefly about myself. Uh, I started off working online just after I completed my computer engineering, and I accidentally stumbled upon earning online. And then from there, the journey started. Firstly, I was uh, blogging for my own personal websites. Then I went on to promote Smashing Magazine as one of their social media promoters. And then from there, I realized the power of social media and how someone can earn money online. And soon after a year or so, we became Google AdSense Premium Publisher, which is like assigned to only those people who have like millions of traffic on their website. So the SEO game started back then. Then me and my business partners formed a company called My Theme Shop in 2012. And then quite recently, we formed a company called RankMath, which is an SEO plugin, which I'll be discussing here today. So I'll be going through some of the basic misconceptions and how you can optimize your WordPress website for SEO. And we have a team of 22 brilliant people working together. We have been 100% remote right from the beginning. So working online right now is not something, uh, I mean, difficult or different for us. So I'll just head over and I'll start sharing my screen so that uh, I can start the presentation. Just a second. So yes, as I just told you that me and my business partners have formed two companies recently. In the WordPress and we have been in the business for at least in the WordPress for. We are in the business for less than 8 years now. So RankMath WordPress SEO plugin. Just for the stats, we have crossed over 300K active installations on WordPress in a span of 1.5 years, and we have over 1,000 positive reviews, 5-star reviews on WordPress. Why another SEO plugin when there were so many big SEO plugins in the market? The reason was back in 2015, we personally felt the need that SEO was evolving way too fast because we do SEO for our businesses. We also have other niche websites, but the SEO plugins were not evolving as fast as we wanted them to be. We tried reaching out to the developers of the different plugins, but they were, for obvious reasons, were not willing to change their plans for their SEO plugins. So we developed something for our internal use. For almost 3.5 years, we used the plugin internally. And once we saw and realized that we have built something really great, we released the plugin on the WordPress repository, and since then it has been very well received by the community. So this is one of the niche websites which we run, and we are all about organic. We tend to drive the traffic from the search engines because that is one of the best traffic one can have on their website. So in today's showcase, I'll be discussing about what is SEO, very brief introduction, and uh, also I'll be assuming that all of you know uh, a little bit about SEO, if not more, so that I won't be covering the very basics on how to do the keyword research and things like that. But at the same point of time, I will also be linking to all the articles related to what I'll be discussing in here. Then I'll be discussing about why SEO is important and the challenges involved with the WordPress SEO, and how does uh, SEO plugins for WordPress help you in this scenario. Um, then I'll be quickly going through how to set up how to set up an SEO plugin, and then the common misconceptions of SEO. But you got to stick for the last part because that is very interesting, not only for the beginners, but also for someone who is very advanced into SEO, because I'll be showing you how to attain search results uh, on Google search result, even though many of the people say that the rating schema is dead and thing and so forth. And I'll be showing you how to have better real estate on the search results. Yeah, so if this something excites you, I would recommend you to stick around. So what exactly is SEO? If we go by the books, the goal of SEO is to rank a website higher in search engine result pages. Experts in this field do so a set of optimization processes. Some of them are applied to the content and the website, which is called the on-page SEO, which I'll be discussing here. And then the other parameters focus on the off-page, off-site SEO, which is a very vast field. So I won't be able to cover that. And obviously, the SEO plugins are not going to help you with that part. Why SEO is important? So first of everything, quite recently from my experience, I'll tell you that I was searching on Google for buying a Philips shaver. So I was so very inclined that I clicked on the first result and I ended up buying something for myself. So the traffic which comes from the search engines are usually, especially the transactional queries, are very high converting, and they can help you generate uh, money not just in tens of thousands of dollars but in hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. So because we have been doing that for quite a long, so we know that the traffic from SEO is very converting. And top of everything, the traffic is almost free and everlasting if you can hit the right keyword, and if your content is able to match the intent of the user. Trust me, I mean, you can have everlasting traffic. No one is going to beat you, and you can have a passive income stream from the search engine traffic. The SEO is important for way many reasons. First of, I mean, the foremost reason, in my personal opinion, is because by doing SEO, you should try to rank for the first position. A, a case study was done by Advanced Web Ranking, and they concluded that the first result on the search result was getting whooping 32.28% of the clicks of the entire searches. Then uh, they also concluded that the top four results on the search pages were getting almost 80% of the clicks. So if you are not ranking in the first four positions, you are already losing a huge amount of traffic. So with SEO, what people do is that they try and tend to rank higher on the search results. So the challenges which are involved with the WordPress SEO. WordPress by default is not very SEO friendly. So does that mean that if someone is not using an SEO plugin, is not going to rank on Google? No, that is definitely not the case. Think of it from this perspective. Let's say if I'm given an option to drink a tap water, where I simply uh, 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 drink the water from the tap, and the other option is to dig a well and then extract the water out of it. So drinking the tap water is much more convenient, and that's why the SEO plugins play the part. Otherwise, Google can definitely go to your website, and they can simply I'll just show you. They can simply check the content of your website, and they can then try and rank that. So if you view the page source of a website where an SEO plugin is not installed and a page source where an SEO plugin is installed, you will notice a difference, that there are certain tags that gets added. To be honest, this is the foremost thing which SEO plugins for WordPress do. People think that installing an SEO plugin for WordPress magically would help them get the first ranking on the search pages. That is not the case, but they will definitely help you rank better and help Google to understand the content better. So let's say if I'll go ahead and search for canonical URLs in a default WordPress installation, I mean, that is not present. Google, WordPress by default does not add that, and that they have their own reasons, and we can understand. So SEO plugins then come in to help you. But the problem is right now with the other SEO plugins and why we had to build our own. For ever evolving SEO, you have to install tens of different of plugins just to do the SEO task, because SEO is not about just about keyword stuffing or having a good meta title and description anymore. It is way beyond that if we are talking about the technical SEO. Most SEO plugins which we tried, they did not have a clear setup process. So I had to be proficient in SEO to understand the kind of the terminology used and the kind of the processes they have built. And with all the utmost respect, and since I work on a daily basis with the developers in my team, uh, I have noticed that the developers tend to fall in love with their code, and there is a kind of a mismatch in here that people who are building the SEO plugins are not actual SEOs. And in our case, we are actual SEOs, and trust me, I mean, there doesn't go a day when I do not have an argument or a discussion with my developers, requesting them to make the changes, and they do not want to do that just because they think that their code is beautiful and that works really well. But from the SEO perspective, that is not definitely the case. So how does SEO plugins help? As I just showed you, SEO plugins primarily help you to add the meta tags which are being consumed by search engine bots like Google or Bing or anyone, and they also help you to add the schema markup. I mean, you can definitely use different plugins to add that, but we have built the SEO schema markup right inside the WordPress dashboard. I'll demonstrate that you down the line. So how to set up an SEO plugin correctly. So I'll be linking out to a detailed video tutorial where Adam from WP Crafter has explained all the details and the steps required to configure the RankMath plugin. But I'll simply run down few options for you so that you know how it works and how to install it correctly. So as soon as you click on activate, you will be represented with this screen. You can click on skip now button. That is completely optional, but I'll go ahead and I'll click on activate RankMath and I'll connect that the account with the website. I'll show you why did I do that. So as soon as I start the wizard, if you are using any other SEO plugin previously, RankMath will import all the data, even from the premium versions of those plugins, right into RankMath. So you do not lose anything, and the process is very swift and very complete. So the very first step is like the basic SEO details, which one must include when they are setting up the SEO plugin. So where does this data show? So when you search on Google, you see there is a panel on the right hand side. This is called the knowledge graph. So Google picks the logo, they picks the name of the brand, and they also pick the category of the uh, company or the website which you have. So let's say, I mean, if you have a personal blog, you can simply, you do not need to enter in anything, but I'm presuming that you might have clients which are where you have like local clients. So let's say I'm choosing other business website. So all these categories are being pulled from Google. So Google helps you categorize your website. Let's say I have a locksmith business. So I'll click on locksmith and then I'll enter the name of my company. So these details, locksmith, for instance, shows up in here that it is a locksmith company. And for the logo, you can simply go ahead and upload a file or choose from the media library for the logo, which I just showed you. Default image share. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen that people do not care about uploading the social media image. I'll quickly show you the difference. This is this is a website where our default image sharing image is added inside the RankMath, or you can add that in other SEO plugins as well, I'm sure. So when someone shares an article from your website, the default image shows. So this gives you higher chance to have more eyeballs and higher CTR when someone shares the website on social media websites like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or anywhere else. But let's say if someone has a website, let's say I haven't added. Yeah. So yes, in here you can see that no image shows up. So this is, I mean, not attractive, and this certainly will not help you get as many clicks as the other website will help you get. So you can quickly upload a social media image. Just make sure that you are meeting the requirements set forth by Facebook for the minimum resolution of the image. So as soon as you click on it, and I'll quickly scrap again, and then okay, it might be the cache on this website, so I have to clear that. So I mean, you get the idea that if someone adds the default social media image, that helps you get more clicks on the social media's websites. So I'm now moving on to the next step. This is completely optional, and if you want, you can also, for the developers, you can also build your build your app and connect that right inside RankMath. We have a tutorial on our website, but let me just quickly show you what this does. This helps you pull all the data from your Google Search Console and display that right inside your WordPress dashboard. This is how it will look. It will look like. So since this is a new website, connecting my account to Google Search Console won't make sense. So this is how it shows you. In Google Search Console, you won't be able to track your position, but in RankMath, you will be able to track the position for your keywords, and you will be, I mean, you will have a bird eye view of all your keywords for which you are ranking. So I'll click on skip step. If you're an advanced user, uh, I mean, you can configure these options. Otherwise, by default, RankMath configures them for you in the best possible manner. So sitemaps technically are kind of the files which are consumed by search engines. So which the sitemaps contain the articles or the pages which you want to index. So just make sure that you do not go ahead and uh, try and index every single page on your website. That is not a good tactic, and that leads to a bad user experience. On the next step, this is one of the options we did not see in other SEO plugins, and this kind of hurts uh, uh, your SEO traffic. So I'm sure that just like me, you would have also created categories on your website, but you could have you must have forgotten to assign any articles to those categories. What that does is that those empty categories, they get indexed on Google, and Google sees your website that they are trying to index the thin content pages, even though you are not deliberately trying to do that, but Google sees it that way. So we have this option in the RankMath plugin where we add no index. That means that the search engines won't be indexing that page if a category or a tag does not have any post assigned to them. And as soon as you assign an article to them, it automatically changes to the indexing protocol, so that the search engines go ahead and index them. Second thing, I have seen that people tend to no follow all the external links on their website. This should not be done in the 99% of the cases. This should only be done when your website contains only the affiliate links on your website. And only in that case it makes sense. Otherwise, it is like that you are recommending something, but you are not ready to vouch for them. So when a Google search bot comes on your website, sees your article and sees that you are linking to an external source. Let's say you have researched on how to add FAQ schema on your website, and you have researched and you are linking out to an external third party website, but you are not willing to use the follow link, and you have added no follow to that link, thinking that that will help you save the link equity on that page. That is definitely not the case, because then Google sees that if the website owner who has published the article, he or she is not able to trust the third party source, why would we be trusting this website? So they came out with this policy, and John from Google has
announced that, has said about that this thing several times on his Twitter and other platforms. And this option, I mean, this is very handy. I mean, you do not need to manually enter the target blank, which helps you open the third party website links in a new window. So this is turned on by default. If someone is advanced, they can click on the advanced SEO settings. Otherwise, for most of the users, I mean, they can click on return to dashboard, or we recommend enabling the auto update, which is going to be coming in the WordPress core in WordPress in 5.5, if I'm not mistaken. But we already have this in our plugin. So when you click on return to dashboard, you will notice that in RankMath there are several modules. Just ensure that you are enabling only those modules which you need. For instance, if I do not have ACF installed on my website or BBPress, I should not be enabling those modules. 404 monitor, let's say if I just want to check if my website is getting any 404 or a page 404 hits or not, so I can enable that. Redirections, yes, if I am so likewise you should be enabling only those options which you actually need, and should not be turning on everything which you are seeing on this screen. So I'll uh, by default you can see that RankMath configures itself, so you do not need to configure it. It also helps you choose the default schema type for your articles. Most of the time when you are writing an article, it is a blog article, uh, uh, and so we choose that. But you can definitely choose what site what sort of article you are writing, whether that is a news article, blog article, or just an article in general. And then I'll show you the SEO analysis tool, which is exclusive to RankMath. So what this does is that it runs a set of tests which are something very basic, but we have noticed that these tests do not pass on every website out there. So for instance, I mean, your site tagline is set to just WordPress, so you can go ahead to journal, and as you can see, instead of using the default tagline, you should try and explain about your website in as little words as possible, so that the other person can get that. There is a detailed tutorial on our website how to optimize all these things. How, I mean, uh, these are small things which do matter uh, when you are trying to optimize your website for the for SEO. And inside the single posts, let's say I'll just go ahead and open this a draft which I have already saved. Uh, Please, uh, not just for RankMath, but for SEO, any SEO plugin, please do not live for the life that you got to score 100 by 100, or you got to have the green lights on a website. That is not how the SEO works. Even if you have like 100 by 100 in RankMath, you are, that does not guarantee you the first position on the search result pages. These are just guidelines which we have seen that these are the common patterns which we noticed the other websites were using. But this is something not exclusive. This is not an exclusive list, and this does not guarantee you rankings on search results. So first of everything, you must choose your focus keyword. The kind of the focus keyword is the phrase for which you want your website to be ranked. Do not be way too generic. Let's say I want to get ranked for locksmith. That is literally impossible until unless you are doing the SEO for a local only. So instead, try and be relevant. For this article, I just entered elementor SEO. The reason I connected the account on the first step was for the SEO analyzer. That works only when the account is connected and all the suggestions are being pulled from Google search result. So this helps you determine the overall SEO of your article. Again, I'll be linking out to a detailed article, detailed video tutorial where you can see and configure your SEO plugin completely. Now I'll be showing you. I'm sure that many of you must be using Elementor, or your clients might be using them. we also rely on Elementor for a few of our websites, and we noticed that doing the optimizing the content for Elementor was such a cumbersome process with the other SEO plugins, because then you have to shift between the tabs. Firstly, you have to edit something on the front end, then you have to go back to the back end and then see if the SEO score changed or not. But we right inside the Elementor editing area, you can edit all your SEO details. And let's say if you are editing the content on the fly, the score changes as well, right inside the WordPress the Elementor area. So this was a quick overview of the RankMath SEO plugin. So I'll just go ahead and help you understand the and ensure that you do not fall into these common misconceptions, because these are the things which we see when people contact us, or they are posting on our support forums. Redirect all 404 pages to the home page is going to help you. No, that is definitely not the case. Let me try and simplify and help you. Think of it from this perspective. You walk into Walmart to buy milk from there, and you navigate yourself and go to that section just to realize that the person standing there asks you to go back to the entrance. That is what the 404 pages to the homepage does. Instead, what one must be doing is that uh, they should be showing some sort of an error on that 404 page, that for instance, the milk is out of stock, so you cannot buy it, or if the milk has been moved to some other section, so you help navigate them. And how you do that in RankMath is very simple. You simply head over to the redirections, you click on add new, you enter your source URL, the page where the 404 was occurring. If you know a very relevant page where which matches the content of the previous page which you deleted, then only enter the then only redirect that page. Otherwise, in most of the cases, click on 410. What this does is that it directs it helps Google and other search bots understand that the page on this website is deleted and should not be indexed. That helps really well for Google and the users if they are arriving on your website. Then we noticed that people were like, we must be creating the internal links with the exact match. Exact match is like, let's say if I'm trying to optimize this article for Elementor SEO, then what we have noticed that users try and do the internal linking from other posts using the phrase, let's say if I'm they'll simply try and link these keywords. Instead being natural, they tend to go after the keyword stuffing. That is a big no-no. Yes, internal linking matters a lot, but you should not be using the exact match keywords when you are linking to your other internal articles. Same goes for the image file names, alt tags, or the titles. Please do not cramp them with the exact match keywords. Instead, you should be defining what that image means. For instance, this image in here, if let's say I'm running after the O keyword, OH. So instead of writing the alt tag as O, I could be much more descriptive, so that the people who are using the screen readers can understand what a particular image on a website means. For instance, for this image, I can use a face palm. And then people think that adding schema markup on your on your website helps you with higher rankings. No, definitely not the case. uh, uh, what schema markup does is that it helps Google understand the content. So when this is like the schema markup, this is usually added by JSN LD. So this helps Google understand what this page is about. Then what Google tries to do is that they tend and see if the content on this page matches the schema markup provided by you. So until unless you are very much sure that you know that the schema markup matches with the content of your page, then only you should be adding the schema markup. Otherwise, you should not be trying, you should not try to exploit the schema markup. And when the schema markup is done right, what it actually does is that it helps you attain rich results. This is called a rich result. For instance, this result or any other result on this page does not show you any difference, but people are tempted to click on these results which stand out from the rest. So this is what the schema markup actually does for you. More pages is equals to more ranking? Definitely not. uh, just try and think of it from this perspective, that you do not want to read a story from two separate books. You would want to read a complete story from a single book. So uh, SEO is ever evolving and is moving towards matching the intent of the user. Always and always try to match the intent of the user. And how could you do that? Just think of it from a searcher's perspective. What if I'm searching for locksmith? What is it that I want to attain by that? And what would I be wanting to attain if I'm going to search for uh, buy a Philips shaver? So try and match the intent of the user and then write the content accordingly, and then try to make it um, as beautiful as possible, so that if someone wants to skim through the article, they can do that, and at the same point of time they can also get the information which they was initially searching for. Adding no follow to all instant external links, I just explained that right in the beginning, so this is something you should definitely avoid. Okay, this is something very exciting, and I'm sure that most of the people in the SEO industry, uh, uh, I mean, do not talk about these things. Why? Because I mean, these are the things which actually gives people edge over their competitors. Uh, Google quite recently changed how the reviews are shown on the search results. So now everyone starts to say that the rating schema has right. That is definitely not the case. Google has simply changed their their guidelines, and now they only allow book, course, event, product, recipe, or software application to have that rating shown up on the search results. So if you have reviewed uh, any product on your website, or if you have reviewed any software, or if you have written about a recipe, I would recommend that you go ahead and I'm just assuming that you have already installed RankMath or a similar. I'm not sure if the other SEO plugins have already updated their code. So you go ahead to RankMath's SEO panel, click on the schema tab. For instance, for in this article, Elementor SEO, we were discussing about Elementor. The Elementor could be classified as a software application, but we decided to choose it as a product. Just make sure that you are showing the review on your page, because that is one of the guidelines. So do not choose a custom shortcode and then do not enter the shortcode inside your content. So for us, we just chose that the review will be shown below the content. The product brand was Elementor USD, and these are the ratings which you need to enter. Do not enter the values which you do not know about. uh, Even if the structured data shows you warnings, that is completely fine. Google or Google and other search engines say that you should be providing only that data which you are sure about and that correctly represents the content on your page. So since I'm talking about a free product, I did not enter any price, and the price is not valid until, because I do not know for how long will Elementor be free, but obviously, I mean, it will be free for life. So, and I also do not know about the SKU, product SKU, anything else other than these values. This is the overall rating which I'm going, which we have given to which we have given to Elementor, and this is the minimum rating which one can assign, and this is the maximum rating. As soon as you do that, head over to Google structured data testing tool, enter your URL, and see if the schema markup added by RankMath is correctly added to your pages. You should not be seeing anything written in red. Orange means recommendation, red means a warning, which is like the required field. These fields are not required, but these are recommended, so you can ignore them, because you as I said, that if you do not know about anything, do not enter those do not enter that data in the schema markup. And we were able to attain this result. the sweet part was that as soon as we attained that, we were ranking on the fourth position. But since I told you that this is something uh, this stands out from the rest, so people started clicking more and more on these results, and then Google realized, okay, this is something which is of interest to the users, so we must be ranking it higher. So we are now ranking on the first position for this keyword. Use FAQ schema wisely. People are not utilizing it, and they have a false misconception that using FAQ schema uh, will drop your search engine traffic. That is definitely not the case, because we have implemented that. So if you will search for FAQ schema, you would notice that out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 results, the result from the rank math has the most real estate on this search result. So this helps you attain more area, as you would say, on the search results. So people are more likely to click on your article, and will also click on the FAQs which you have written. And Google does allow linking out to other pages on your website, or third party links from the FAQ schema. So this is something which we have utilized, and this has actually resulted in higher clicks to our website for this particular keyword. So this is something you should be implementing. But now, why did I write wisely? This should be you should know that FAQ schema shows up only for the results which are on the first page. They do not show for the results which are showing after the 10th position. So if your article is ranking uh, in the fourth position, or up until the 10th position, you should be implementing FAQ schema. And how do you search for the kind of questions which users are searching on their website? You simply enter your phrase in Google, and then you will notice that Google shows up people also ask. These are the kind of searches which people are already uh, uh, entering in Google, and these are the questions which they want their answers for. So you simply grab the top 10 questions from here, and the best part is, as soon as you click on one of the questions, Google shows you more. As you click on the second, they show you more. So you can pick the top 10 questions which are very much relevant to your an article, and you add them right inside the new block editor by entering FAQ, or you can add it via the block editor. So you can click on FAQ. Now the limitation. This is this is what I was talking about in at the beginning. From a developer point of view, the other SEO plugins which implemented this, they thought that Google allows only one FAQ block per page, but that is definitely not the case. In other SEO plugins, you are going to be restricted to add all the FAQs one after the other. But with the RankMath plugin, let's say you can enter the first FAQ related to this section in here. Then you scroll down, and then you see that, okay, I have the SEO settings, and I have a relevant question and an answer. You can add your second FAQ schema in here. And what RankMath does in the backend is that it combines all the FAQs and represent that to that to Google, so that Google can display all of them at once. So this is something which is missing in the other SEO plugins. Internal linking is the key to success, and that is so very true. But at the same point of time, one must not be try and link using only the keywords. Try and be natural, and do not just for the sake because you have to uh, include an internal link, do not do that. RankMath SEO plugin offers an option of link suggestions. How does this work? Is that let's say if someone clicks on, this is a pillar content. Pillar content is like the top 10 articles on your website, or top 20 articles on your website, which you definitely would want to get ranked. So as soon as you do that, and when it only shows the articles which are published, so it shows all the links in here, so that you can see if those articles are relevant to your content, and then you can add the internal links right from the block editor or the classic editor. And the other beautiful thing about the rank math is that it provides you additional options. If you want to open the link in a new tab, or if you want to simply, let's say you are adding an affiliate link, you can choose the no follow. And if you're getting paid for for an article, so you can choose the sponsored tag. So these are the things which are which should help you. And as I showed you previously, that it the RankMath help plugin helps you have a bird eye view of your keywords. So what you can do is that go ahead, install RankMath, see which articles are ranking. You can sort the position and then see which articles are ranking on the second position or third position or fourth position. Then accordingly add the relevant schema markup. For instance, if my article is ranking on the second position, but I have that article is related to a review of a product, just make sure that you are not reviewing tens of different of products, or that is not a list article. And if that is a single review article, go ahead, choose the appropriate schema and add that to your website. And if your website is eligible, Google will display such rich results on the search pages. Social media hack, this is like one of my favorites. So what this does is that, you head over to, and we have uh, I shouldn't be using that, but we have actually exploited this hack before introducing it to everyone. So I would recommend not to exploit it, but use it very wisely and sparingly. So let's say if your article is kind of popular on social media platforms, but you want to drive more traffic to it. So uh, I'll just go ahead and choose um the image which I want to show on the um social media websites when someone shares it. This is the option which other SEO plugins, I guess, also provides. But let's say if your article has a video or contains a GIF image inside it, you you click on this click on this button and choose the play icon. What this does is that when someone shares your article on social media websites, a play icon shows up. So this will definitely help you get more CTR, because people will think that this is a video, and once they land on your website, they will be actually seeing the video on your website. So this, but again, just make sure that you are using it correctly. So with that said, these are the things which you can attain with RankMath, and these are the links and the tutorials which will help you understand more about SEO, keyword research, how to do that properly. Because at the end of the day, I personally feel that keyword research is the pillar for the SEO traffic. We would not have been able to attain these sort of traffic which we do from the search engines, unless we were not targeting the right keyword. So you should be making sure that you always target the right keyword. So these guides will help you. And thank you so much for your time. And I'll go ahead and stop the screen sharing. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask me.
Hey, Bhanu, thank you so much. So if you have questions, please write them in the chat window on the side, and I'll ask Bhanu your questions. Please keep your microphones muted. So the first question comes from Alan. He thinks it's a dumb question. I don't. Are you supposed to add focus keywords on pages like location and contact us?
And no, it is, this is not a dumb question. Nothing is dumb. So I would say this is a great question, because this will help everyone else understand this as well. You should not be trying to optimize the contact us pages or the location or the about us pages, because uh, someone is not going to search for contact us and then your page will magically appear on the first result. Someone is definitely going to definitely is going to search for uh, Alan's contact us page. And in that case, you do not need to optimize that. Google will show the page anyway. But if that is a page related to a location, and I'm assuming that you're talking about the local SEO, then yes, definitely you should try and optimize your page. But at the same point of time, please make sure, especially for the local SEO, please make sure that you display the vital information and the things which someone requires right right on the very first fold. Do not try and hide the content on the pages, because for local SEO it is more of a situation where 90% I would say, I'm just assuming that 90% of the searches are for some sort of a service, so they are actually looking for a solution. So do not try and hide that in your content.
Great. The Poly asks a question I think is going to take you a while to answer, or maybe you can link us to a chart or a post. But how does RankMath compare with Yoast?
Okay, see, you could say that I'm biased, but it is like RankMath is like like an Apple notebook. Up until you haven't used it, you do not realize what you have been missing for all your life. Trust me, I mean, give it a try, install it locally or anywhere else. You would see why this is getting so popular so quickly, because we being SEO and the bloggers, we know what are the actual needs of the SEO of the people when they are trying to do the SEO for their website. And uh, beside that, at the end of the day, as I said, choose the SEO plugin which helps you do the tasks which you want to complete. Installing an SEO plugin will not be magically helping you get the first position on the search results.
Great. Adam is asking about why RankMath doesn't offer any readability features, like Yoast. Yoast tells you when it's too many passive words in a sentence, or the sentence too long. Why are there no readability features in RankMath?
Yeah, that's a great question. The reason being because we keep on evolving. There was a readability test in the RankMath plugin, but I'm not sure if you have heard of an update from Google, that is the BERT update. What that essentially does is that now Google can understand the content much better using their artificial intelligence and natural language processing. So the need for the readability tests is I would say that is not essential anymore. You do not want to cram your articles, or you do not want to be restrained across some boundaries. You should be very natural. At the end of the day, you should try and match you should try and fulfill the intent of the search which has happened. And what we notice that in most of the cases, if people try to go by the rules of the readability tests, they have to change the sentences on their website, and that is not a good option for the users. You do not want to do that. And even using passive voice does make sense in many of the cases, so that is why we took that option out of RankMath.
Oh, great. Okay, we have a couple more questions here. It's a serious presentation. So Alan is asking that he's read that you should be wrapping name, address, and phone numbers in schema code. How do you do that in RankMath?
Oh yes, definitely. Let me just quickly show you how to do that. That is very easy. Just a second. So I'll quickly share. And again, I'll be linking out. I have linked out to detailed tutorials which you can see, and you will notice that how to do that very easily. As soon as you have enabled the local SEO module in the RankMath plugin, you head over to titles and meta, and you will notice a tab for local SEO. So if you have an organization, you can enter all the opening hours. You can enter your phone number, the price range, what sort of phone number you want to be displayed on the search result. But if you have like multiple locations for your business, that option is not available as of now in the RankMath plugin. But if you are a owner of a website, or if you are providing services to someone who has a single store, you have everything right inside RankMath for the local SEO. You do not need any other additional plugin for that.
Awesome. All right. A couple more questions for you.
Sure.
Is there an API that you can tap into to get relevant keywords for a client's business? That's from Dipali.
Can you please Can you please rephrase the question, because I'm not sure what sort of keywords are you looking to tap right now. RankMath pulls in all the.
Can I just ask the question? I'm sorry.
Sure.
I was looking for something like a Google API or something. I have used Facebook APIs in the past and tried to consume APIs from Facebook to get some keywords and to get some information so that I can access more information about what they're actually looking for. So, is there anything like that Google provides so we can make use of those for the real businesses or and add them to our website? Thank you.
Okay, all right. Unfortunately, Google does not provide any public API which can be consumed and used by users. They do provide the AdWords, keyword data API, but that is something way too technical and is not available for everyone. So what I would rather recommend you to try and use the free tools online. For instance, you can use a tool from Neil Patel that is called the Uber Suggest. They provide you data for free, and you can also create a free SEMrush account, and they'll also provide you with the keyword volume and the basic stuff just to get you started.
That's great. And actually, I think you might have answered the next question because Suzanne asked about Uber Suggest, the keyword research, and what you thought about it.
That is good for the starters, definitely. But let's say if you are serious about your business and if you want to have the exact metrics about a keyword, then I would highly recommend going after the paid tools. Uber Suggest for the free will definitely help you to get an overview and an idea that what sort of volume would be there for a particular keyword.
Great. Any tips for a local SEO from Dipali again?
Okay, for the local SEO, apart from having the details entered into the RankMath plugin, because this helps Google fetch the data from your website, one must focus on Google My Business. Sorry, one must focus on Google My Business. Go ahead, register there, and try and get as many positive reviews as you can. One of the things which we did with RankMath is that as soon as we try and help someone, we politely ask them if you like. If the answer which we just provided helped you, please consider leaving us a positive review, and then we link out to WordPress.org. And most of the times people are very generous and they do that. So if you're running a local business and if you're providing some sort of a service, I would recommend that for the clients, you should ask them directly to go ahead and share their review or their experience on Google, so that the reviews show up. So that actually largely helps gaining higher results on the search result pages for the local SEO.
Great. Joseph Schrock is asking. He just purchased the Astra Pro theme, and it has a Schema. It has Schema Pro in included, I guess. Will RankMath? Are you familiar with that? And will RankMath integrate with it, or should he just not install their Schema Pro and go with RankMath's?
Schema Pro is great. But the beauty with RankMath is that we are already providing not only the schema markup provided in the Schema Pro, but also additional schema markups, and we also provide an importer. So if someone has installed Schema Pro on their website, they can head over to import section of RankMath, and they can import the data of Schema Pro in the RankMath plugin. I haven't used the Schema Pro personally, but I know the developers. I know the developers personally. They are very good. So if you are planning to use the Schema Pro on your website, I would recommend turning off the schema option, schema markup module in the RankMath plugin. But if you are planning to use the RankMath schema markup, so there is no requirement for any additional schema plugin.
Great. All right, 2 more questions, Bhanu, and that's all we got.
Sure.
PJ is asking, can RankMath be used along another SEO plugin?
No, definitely not. Because let me show you what that would do. Is that these are the tags which are added by RankMath, and the similar tags will be added by the other SEO plugin. So the search engine bots will get confused that which data to consume. I mean, should we be consuming these tags or should we be consuming the tags from the other SEO plugin? So that would be a real disaster. Never use two SEO plugins together. You should be using only one SEO plugin at a time.
Agree. I'm going to actually add to that. You should never use it. There's no reason to use two backup plugins. There's no reason to be using two analytics plugins. You end up with a lot of duplicate information and conflict. Last question from Bud Kraus. Are there any differences between your sitemaps and those of Yoast's? And when sitemaps go into core, is that going to affect how you handle sitemaps at RankMath?
Great question. No, the sitemaps, I mean, we are using the same URL structure as the Yoast uses. So if someone is migrating from Yoast to RankMath, they do not need to submit their sitemaps again on Google Search Console. And for these sitemaps coming up in the core, we are keeping a close eye to that. And as soon as something has been finalized there and they have a working beta version, we will definitely be tapping into that and we will be utilizing that instead of, I mean, adding our own sitemap.
Awesome. All right, Bhanu, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much. I know it's really early by you, and I appreciate you waking up and going over RankMath in such amazing detail.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone who has attended. I'm really happy that, and if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email on bhanu.a@rankmath.com, or I mean, you can use the contact form on our website and just mention that you met me in the WordCamp NYC meetup, and then that ticket gets assigned directly to me and I can answer you personally. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Awesome. Thank you. And just a reminder, this presentation has been recorded and it'll be posted on our website and YouTube channel.